Welcome to Northwest Profiles, a look at people, places, and events of interest in the inland Northwest.
I paint because it's the joy of my life and I want to share that with others.
Everyone says, I like your work because it's so free and it looks like you just do it so easily.
They do make it look easy. Artists who use their work to communicate their experiences. The creators of these art pieces have something in common. Each one is visually impaired.
I think that when people find out, they're a little more interested to see what you can do.
I can't do detail work anymore, so I do flowers and scenery, which is never perfect, even in real life.
These pieces have toured with an exhibition called Art of the Eye 2. It's the second in a series of traveling displays. The artwork was chosen for its quality, its ability to convey the artist's experiences and creativity, and its power to display the role that vision plays in the creative process.
The goal is to promote sight preservation and educate the public about sight impairments and the possibilities of those who have them.
Michelle Hagan was the chairperson for the Art of the Eye 2 exhibit in Spokane, which was held in the gallery at Joel Incorporated.
Well, one of the first things that we had to do is find a gallery, which may sound easy in Spokane, but it actually wasn't. We were actually rejected by 2 galleries here in Spokane because their calendars were already full, working 2 years out. And I had a meeting with Joel Ferris Jr. and expecting to have to really pitch and sell this exhibit. And it appears that Joel Ferris Sr. had macular degeneration, and so that is something that their family is committed to promoting research as well as education about sight impairments. And so before I left, I had a yes and a commitment to help us bring this event to Spokane. We tend to have misconceptions about those with sight impairments, that their lives are not that full, not that enriched, maybe not that satisfying. But we look at these artists, and yes, they do have barriers and they do have limitations, but yet they create beautiful art and they're inspiring.
In the Art of the Eye exhibit, the artists showed the pain they've dealt with as a result of vision loss, but also the resilience of their spirit as they've gone on to create new artwork.
Lynette Denny, she was a painter before she lost her sight due to diabetic retinopathy. She became a sculptor after that, and her sculptures, 2 of them show her emotions at losing her sight. There's grief and defeat. However, there's also Mooncatcher, which shows her accepting gifts from her sight limitations, and then Blind Mother, where she sculpted herself very crudely and her child very perfectly because he is sighted and she is not, but yet she cradles him tenderly to show her love for her child. She was a mother of 2 young children at age 30 when she became blind.
This oil painting, entitled Ophelia, was painted by an artist named Don Pearson, who is green and red colorblind. As Don created this painting, all he could see was gray.
Scott Nelson, who's the curator of the exhibit, he's also self-taught, but he does large sculptures on tripods. And what he has is about perception. So he has one that's called the Unmagic Ring. And so it's a whole that, what he says is we who are sighted, we really don't see everything that we can, and we limit our perception. And his goal is to provoke us to increase what we actually see and not be limited by our own selves.
Art of the Eye 2 was a national touring exhibition, which also included artists from our own region. Marjorie Wilson of Colville put some of her work into the show. Marjorie has macular degeneration, which limits sight in the center of her field of vision.
I have learned to look over here and work here. It's just, you just have to learn to work with it. When I start painting, I just start putting paint on, and sometimes it'll turn out a lake, sometimes it'll be a mountain. Whatever happens to come out. Whatever your hands tell you to do.
One feature of Marjorie's paintings is the vividness of color.
Everyone tells me that. I think the reason, maybe because I can't see well, that I do use vivid colors. But everyone tells me, well, that's what I like about them. So I keep doing that. I'm self-taught. And I'm not professional. I guess I do everything wrong according to professionals, but that's the way I do it. And I guess every artist does the same what they want to do.
Another local artist featured in Art of the Eye, too, is Tim Burns of Spokane. Like Marjorie, Tim used to have normal vision. His artistic career was just getting underway when he began to notice that everything was looking distorted. Tim tried reading glasses, but the distortion just got worse.
I had the criteria of many different eye diseases, but not any one in particular. And the doctors were not giving me any explanation of what was going on. They didn't know, so they didn't really have anything to offer me.
Eventually, Tim was diagnosed as being legally blind.
So I went through some depressing times of losing my independence and not being able to drive, certainly not being able to paint anymore the way that I used to. So I put my brushes up, and I didn't paint at all for over a year.
Friends and family encouraged Tim to try painting again. Finally, he decided to take their advice.
So I picked up my brushes again and just gave myself some freedom and tried to show people, well, this is what I see, which is really, to me, what art's all about. It's about what the artist sees. So I try to, in my work, display what I see now, not confining myself to perfection, but to expression. And I've had some really good success with selling my work. In fact, more success now with vision loss in selling my work than before.
These artists may be visually impaired, but they share the same goals as any artist: to communicate their message and arouse emotions in their viewers. They accomplish these things through the powerful medium of art.
In my artwork, I don't want to really display the despair and pain that my vision loss has caused me in my life. I want my artwork to display the joy. And to me, when I look at a painting, it can be emotional, but it should be you would want to get a good feeling from it. I want to get a good feeling when I look at a painting, and that's what I hope to share with others when they look at my work.
I enjoy doing it, and people seem to enjoy seeing my pictures, so that's my main pleasure, is having people enjoy them.
If you have a story idea for Northwest Profiles, send it to KSPS TV, 3911 South Regal, Spokane, Washington, 99223. Northwest Profiles is a presentation of KSPS Public Television.